Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Rob Marsiglio, sales representative with Keller Williams Referred Urban Realty. I'm out here in Durham region serving the great people of this area, doing my very best to bring you weekly content to keep you posted on everything that is going on with Greater Toronto Area real estate. Now, it's been the theme on the channel for a while now, but new listings, active listings, we're going to dive into some of those numbers today, some charts that I shared last week on Twitter that seem to get some interest over there, so I want to share them with you on this platform. And don't worry, YouTube, while it may be similar to the one I shared on Twitter, this is actually up to date as of September 26th. What we're looking at here is the cumulative total number of new listings across the Greater Toronto Area. So to define GTA, we're talking Toronto, Durham, York, Peel, and Halton regions. There's other areas in Treb, little pockets of Simcoe County, as well as Dufferin. Not going to include those in these stats here. We're just talking straight GTA. So as you can see, these flat humps on this chart are weekends and long weekends. And then you can kind of see when you get these step ups, those are your weekdays. So really on any given weekday, we're seeing anywhere between, let's say, 750 to 800 new listings hitting the market in the Greater Toronto Area. You can see that as of September 26th, we're up to just over 14,000 new listings. Now, last year off the back of a slow spring, we had September, right? So through 26 days of September, I'm going to compare 2022 in black to 2023. There's a lot going on in this chart, so just stick with me for 2 seconds. The left side of this black bar is dividing the market up into freehold and condo properties. So you can see that we've had 44.5% more new listings on the freehold side this year, and almost 42% more new listings on the condo side this year. The numbers up here are the total number of new listings so far, and the percentage below is kind of the total market makeup that number represents. So for example, in 2022 we had just shy of 5,600 new listings through 26 days of September. That accounted for just shy of 60% of the total new listings, and the other 40% were on the condo side. Now, I've done the same thing here through by region, so Toronto, Durham, York, Peel, and Halton, as you can see. Let's take note of here what's going on. So, slightly bigger share of new listings happening in the city of Toronto, but it's really in York region that we've seen the biggest jump in share of new listings. So kind of the more people are listing their homes in York region relative to the whole this year than they were last year. But I think what's important to notice is that right across the board, whether it's property type where you're up 44.5, 42%, or by region, you're up anywhere from 31% in Halton region for new listings to about 49%, almost 50% in York region. That's where we're getting all these listings coming to market, hence the thumbnail, for sale, for sale, for sale. It truly feels like the entire Greater Toronto Area is for sale right now. This probably has a lot to do with the lack of inventory. Again, the big storyline for the past few years was lack of supply, driving prices up, too much demand, not enough supply. We're starting to really see those things switch. That chart there, new listings, relates to the supply side of things. Let's see what's going on the demand side of things, though. Once again, comparing 2022 to 2023, you should have some familiarity as to what the numbers and percentages mean now, but you can see, whereas everybody was taking, 30 to 40 to 50% leaps in the number of new listings coming to market, the entire market is actually pulling back in terms of sales. Durham region is the one that's kind of closest to being even for last year. They're down a few sales through 26 days of September. Toronto holding up relatively well, but then York region down 8% in sales so far. Peel just over 9%, and Halton, again, it's off of a lower base. They only had 467 sales through 26 days last year, but down a whopping 16% just through those first 26 days. What I also want you to take note of here is just the share of sales where they're made up. So you can see a big shift has gone into the majority of sales have always been in the Toronto market, but that's up almost 2 percentage points, the kind of market share that they've grabbed. Durham region, despite being a little lower in sales, they've also picked up some relative market share in terms of the total number of sales. So people getting back into the city, people looking in Durham region for the affordability, kind of the two explanations that I have there. So comparing this year to last year is one thing. 2022 was a bit of an anomaly year anyways, but again, our listings have definitely picked back up relative to last year, and our sales are down compared to last year, even though last year, was one of the slowest Septembers on record. I'm going to pull that new listings daily chart back up, but with another little addition here just to compare kind of the total TREB to what is happening in the GTA in 2023 in September. And this is what I'm talking about right here. So you can see on this chart, I stopped at just over 14,000 new listings. I wanted to make sure I had a full complete day of data. I pulled this chart just a couple minutes ago before recording this. So, we've already had about 400 more new listings added to the greater Toronto area in September today. So we're sitting at just shy of 14,600 new listings. Now, the TREB average, including those areas that I told you I'm not talking about today, like Simcoe, Dufferin counties, on average in September, we'd expect, just shy of 15,500 new listings. So we're on pace to well exceed that for all of TREB, and we will probably break through that number in the GTA alone. It's a similar story, with new listings are up and sales are down, you'd expect active listings to climb. We're about 2,500 more active listings at this point in the year than we would expect on all of TREB. Sales we've talked about, we're lagging by almost 50% of where we'd expect to be at this point in time. And, active listings divided by sales, that gives us our months of inventory. As you well know from this channel, our months of inventory is really about double what we'd expect for the TREB average. And again, we're talking just GTA right now. So it's probably not surprising. Let me know down in the comments below, though, are you seeing a lot more for sale signs now than you saw throughout any other time this year? Really, even as a real estate professional, it's the most kind of for sale signs that I can remember in a while. There's a lot of inventory out there. Is that inventory being listed realistically? Do these sellers have realistic expectations to really depart from their property for what is considered fair market value, whatever that may be in this market? That's another question altogether, but something to keep an eye on. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you are very familiar with this chart here. I want to just jump into exactly what has happened just this month. That is what this percentage change takes into account. So I took a reading on September 4th of my active listings, rate of sales, and months of inventory. So we're going to jump into all that, starting with months of housing inventory. So the Toronto freehold market, which is this red line, which you can see months of inventory actually came down slightly from week to week. But again, from the start of the month until my most recent reading, which was on 25th, I guess, we are up 15.3% in terms of months of inventory. The condo side, which is this blue line, which has really just gone vertical, it's kind of setting year-to-date highs. We're up 38% in months of inventory in just those 3 weeks. Durham region up almost 30%. York almost 26%, Peel almost 22%, and Halton region months of inventory up over 37%. Now, what's driving it? A lot of it is active inventory. Even the Toronto freehold market, they've seen the biggest jump in active inventory since the start of the month, really from the bottom of this line here up to where we're at right now, this red line. So active inventory is up almost 40% in the Toronto freehold market. The Toronto condo market has jumped by 21.5%. In Durham region, the orange line down here, we're up 16.3% in terms of active listings. York region, our nice light blue line, up 20.5%. Peel region up 13.7%. And Halton region, our green line, making a 25.8% jump in active listings. And to wrap it all up, let's look at our 30-day rate of sales. And the only market that has really kind of bounced back or showing any signs of life in September, I'd say, is the Toronto freehold market. You can see that the rate of sales are up 20.4%. That being said, as we just talked about, our active listings are up almost 40%. So even though our rate of sales has crept up, that's why we are seeing a higher months of inventory in Toronto from the start of the month to where we're at right now. Everywhere else across the board is down anywhere between 4.2% in terms of the rate of sales in York region to 12.1% in the Toronto condo market, where things really seem to have slowed down the absolute most. A lot of that is probably driven by people who bought condos as investment properties, even people who moved out of condos into the suburbs early on and decided to hang on to those properties as investments. With what rates are doing, it just may not make the most sense for them to hang on. They're probably cash flow negative a little more than they'd like to be. So you really are seeing a bit of a surge, a bit of a flood in inventory in the condo market, and people just aren't really touching it at this point in time in terms of buying these properties. I mentioned rates quickly right there as a reason why, properties may be coming to market a little more quickly in the Toronto condo market. What is going to happen with rates going forward? We all know that the Bank of Canada and their decisions really affect what's happening with the variable mortgage rates. In terms of fixed, though, is there some relief around the corner? It's really not looking like so. Today we hit a new 52-week high. This is actually the highest. I think going back to 2007, I'll have to go jump back and double check that, but definitely a year-to-date high at 4.3% on our Canada 5-year government bond yield. We've talked about this before. This is related to fixed rate mortgage products. So there's really no relief going fixed or variable at this time. And as long as these numbers really all stay elevated, there could be, a bit of a crunch at times of renewals, maybe even some more inventory coming to market in the near future. So that's what's happening right now in Greater Toronto Area real estate. Again, it's going to be different from pocket to pocket. So you let me know in the comments below if there's an area that you're interested in, or you can reach out. All my contact info is down there as well. I'm happy to do a similar exercise like this for you, one-on-one. Can hop on a Zoom call, whatever that looks like for you. I think it's important to realize that as a buyer, just because there is a lot of inventory building up doesn't necessarily mean price drops are happening right now. It's definitely laid a foundation for price drops to happen. Like, we're not in this tight inventory market anymore. So you can kind of check that off your box of things you're waiting for as a buyer. Okay, let's get some more inventory. But I don't think the price drops, they just don't happen as quickly maybe as you want as a buyer. As a seller, if you are selling in today's market, if you have to sell, use this information just to really realize you're not the only property in the market anymore. You're going to have a lot of competition, more than likely in your neighborhood. You need to show better than those properties. You need to be listed more aggressively price point wise if you really are motivated, want to sell, need to get rid of that property. You may have to take a lump, but I promise you that the loss you're taking now, shouldn't say promise, but it's more likely going to be, not as bad of a loss as if you have to wait a couple more weeks, a couple more months to list a property. Who really knows what the economic situation will be down the road. I hope all that information was useful this week. Thank you so much for sticking with me right until the end of this video. Until we speak again next time, please stay safe. And cheers. Hey there, I really appreciate you watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, I've got another video for you right here on the screen. And, while you're here, maybe just click on my face, subscribe to. I don't want you to miss anything going forward.